Hello, hello, and hi. How are you doing today? Today is Tuesday, November 28th. I hope everyone is having a great day. And it was a beautiful day, incidentally, in the DMV today. That is, for those who don't know, that stands for DC, Maryland, and Virginia, our little tri-state area here. It was an absolutely gorgeous fall day. I don't know how many more we're going to get, but it was about 65 degrees today, and it was sunny, and it was just gorgeous. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. Too bad the sun goes down really fast. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you today about relaxer. A lot of clients have been asking me about relaxer, and that is a question that I get often is relaxer damaging to your hair? And the gist of it, or the short answer is yes. But all chemicals are damaging to your hair to a certain extent. So we're going to dig into it because I know a lot of people are going natural now and thinking, oh, you got to come out of the relaxer because the relaxer is so damaging to your hair. And I'm going to make this statement about relaxer, which is the same statement I would make about a heat on the hair. And it is not the relaxer or per se the heat that is damaging your hair, but it is the person using it. When either of those two things, the heat or the relaxer, are used improperly, that's when the damage occurs. So I know a lot of you are out there doing your own thing. You're shampooing your own hair. You're putting in your own relaxer. So I figure if you're going to do it anyway, I'm going to give you a little bit of education and maybe help you out. First of all, we're going to talk about the difference in relaxers because everyone knows that there's like no-lye relaxers and then there's lye relaxers. And some people swear by no-lye, saying, the lye relaxer is so terrible for your hair, you have to use a no-lye. So first of all, let's see what the difference is between the lye and the no-lye. Now, a no-lye relaxer, and I have some here because I really don't use it that often. I'm going to tell you why. Normally it comes in like a little tub like this. I don't know. This is something I still had on my shelf. And then you have to mix an activator in it. So when you get these little boxes of at the beauty supply, your local beauty supply or your grocery store of the no-lye relaxer, normally anytime you have to mix a liquid into the cream and stir it up and mix the mixture, that would be a no-lye relaxer. No-lye relaxer is what you would call a guanine base relaxer. A lye relaxer is what we would call a sodium hydroxide. A no-lye relaxer is a guanine hydroxide, which means basically, in layman's term, it is a calcium base. Now, the drawback to the no-lye relaxer is that the calcium can build up on the hair. And I don't know if any of you wear, or if you wear a no-lye relaxer, but no-lye relaxers tend to make most women, not all, but most women of color tends to make their hair feel like straw, and it'll make your scalp very dry. So most women who wear no-lye relaxers think they have dandruff, and you don't. It's the guanine mixture of the hydroxide, which is causing your scalp and hair to be a little bit more dry. That's why the hair feels like straw more. And a lot of people, their answer to that is, let me just put some grease on it. It's dry. And we're going to talk about that at another time. But if your hair is dry, grease is not going to make too much of a difference. It's just going to sit on top. The hair is still going to be dry. It'll make it shiny and weigh it down, but it'll still be dry. But back to the relaxer. So that is a no-lye relaxer. The plus to the no-lye relaxer is that it can sit on the scalp a lot longer without burning. And so that's why a lot of people think that the no-lye relaxer is safer. That is not necessarily true, because with any kind of relaxer, be it a no-lye relaxer or a lye relaxer, they don't shut off. Okay, the chemical keeps working until you rinse it out. So if you were to leave it on too long, it's going to break down the hair to where it will disintegrate. I'm not going to go too deep into it. We can talk about that later. And if you want to know more about how the relaxer goes inside the hair and breaks it down, you can go to my website, thehaircarecompany.com, and download the free book. And I take you through step by step exactly what the chemical does to the hair. And but if you leave it on too long, it will disintegrate. That's why some people's hair begin to break and shed really bad after relaxers. And so your automatic response or your automatic reaction would be, oh, this is terrible for your hair. It's not that. It was the misuse of the chemical. Now, to a certain extent, yes, it is damaging it, because you are going inside of your hair strand and you are pulling out what the hair is made of, which is sulfur and hydrogen bonds, or polypeptide chains is what we call them. It pulls out different bonds. It pulls out hydrogen bonds and sulfur bonds, and it softens the hair. As the bonds are pulling out, the natural curl straightens out. Well, if you pull out all the bonds, there's nothing there to keep the hair strong, and that's why it breaks. So you always want to read the manufacturer's instructions and not leave it on too long. And if you cannot do that yourself and you're moving too slow, then get a professional to do it. But the relaxer alone is not breaking the hair. It is definitely the misuse of it. Now let's move to a lye relaxer. Now I only have a jar. I use a Firm. It's a big tub, but this is the relaxer of my choice. I don't think they are in your local beauty supplies, and we're going to talk about that too. I don't really care for the local beauty supplies because it's a lot of knockoff products there, but I'll talk about that in another video. But I have a smaller one. I had some of this on my shelf. I really don't use it as much, but it's Mazzani, and I barely use it. I think a client had requested it once, and that's why I have it on the shelf. But the lye relaxer, they say it's a no base, and we'll talk about that, which means that you don't have to use a base with it, which I do not recommend with any relaxer. You always want to base your hair, but it does not need to be mixed. It is a sodium base, so it doesn't leave a film on your hair, so your hair doesn't end up being hard, and it doesn't dry out your scalp as easily. Now, the drawback to it is it will irritate the scalp the longer it sits on it. But the way to get around that is to just base your scalp. This is a great base, the Sensitive Scalp Base by Summit. I use this on all of my clients. I use it on myself. I use it every time I'm trying to turn the hair straight. I use it every time I give anyone a relaxer. So you can protect your scalp with this, but the relaxer itself is not damaging. It is the person using it. So if you are giving yourself a relaxer and you're a little nervous about it, or you're thinking you want to come out of the relaxer because it's damaging your hair, that's not necessarily the case. You definitely want to follow the manufacturer's instructions. You never want to leave a relaxer on more than 20 minutes. And if you find that the relaxer is making your hair a little too thin, you might just want to switch strengths. Instead of, some people are using super when you should be using regular, and a lot of people are using regular when you should be mild. So it is called a relaxer. It just relaxes the hair. So yeah, that's about it. You just want to relax it. You don't want to straighten it. It is not a straightener. The straighter you get the hair, the weaker the hair will be. It is just an aid to give you more control of your hair. So is relaxer damaging to the hair? Yes, but if it's done properly, it will be minimal damage. So if you have any questions or you want to know more about how relaxer works, like I said, you can go to my website, thehaircarecompany.com, download the free book, and I go deeper into detail about that. But you don't have to give your relaxer up if you don't want to. And it is just an aid. And so that's how it should be used. So on this note about relaxers being damaging, I am going to say goodbye to you. I hope you guys have a great evening. And I'll come back and maybe talk more about the chains. If you guys want to know more about it, you can just hit me up and tell me some things you would like to learn about, and I'd be more than happy to share. So I hope this was a little enlightening to you, and have a fabulous evening. Talk to you soon. Bye.